So one of the funniest things that we've seen since the election is this sort of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde bipolar Fox News, that Fox News, on the one hand, has the people saying Biden won, and Trump's furious with them. And Trump is, in fact, so furious with that side of Fox News that he's been tweeting and advocating for people to go watch Newsmax and OAN instead of Fox News. But at the same time, Donald Trump still has a lot of friends at Fox News. And if you look at the nighttime opinion programming, Tucker Carlson, people like Lou Dobbs, I believe, over on Fox Business during the day, Maria Bartiromo, Judge Jeanine Pirro, certainly Sean Hannity, they're still saying Trump won this thing and Joe Biden stole it with fraud. So it's just wacky because it's bipolar in nature. Now, with all of this, it came to a head in spectacular fashion when bomb-throwing conspiracy host Jesse Waters went up against Geraldo Rivera in just a ridiculous assessment of the Rudy Giuliani meltdown interview or meltdown press conference where Rudy Giuliani's hair dye was melting and Sidney Powell said that there was proof from Venezuela and Cuba and George Soros, they're all involved in the conspiracy. That crazy press conference was so nuts that even Trump supporter Geraldo Rivera, even friend of Trump, Geraldo Rivera, had to say, listen, these are conspiracies. This is over, right? This is done. And Jesse Waters didn't like it, and it just falls apart absolutely brilliantly.
We'll see what happens.
Come on, Jesse. I mean, really.
Come on, Geraldo.
The Clinton Foundation, George Soros, Hugo Chavez. I'm probably the only person in this building I've actually met Hugo Chavez.
I didn't say anything about meeting him.
Hugo
I never
Chavez
said anything about
couldn't make
that.
the red lights work in Venezuela.
I talked about the sworn affidavits.
But, and an international conspiracy. Why not Elvis? You know,
I didn't mention anything like that. I'm talking sworn affidavits. You're a lawyer, Geraldo. You're a lawyer. As a lawyer, you should recognize the validity of that. I love the president.
I wanted him to win this election. What I saw with Rudy Giuliani, who I've known for decades, was bizarre. It was unfocused. There was conspiracy theory, this and that. When you have evidence that you suggest, what's the lawsuit that evidence attaches to? What's the action? You can't go to a court and say, it's fraud. Judge, prove it for me. Or is the FBI to prove it for me?
They have three pending lawsuits right now in three different states that they're going to submit this evidence.
They dropped Michigan.
And then there's going to be a judge that's going to rule on the evidence.
We're giving false hope.
Geraldo, you as an American should want everybody to be confident in the results of the election.
False hope.
And if you don't pursue these fraud allegations, half the country is going to feel like it was crooked. You don't want that.
So Jesse Waters says, if you don't pursue the allegations, the country will believe it was crooked. Well, half the country already believes that. And when the fraud allegations get thrown out, they're not going to say, oh, the allegations were thrown out. I guess there was no fraud. Of course not. When courts throw out the fraud allegations, these people instead say, well, the courts are part of the conspiracy. The courts are in on it, obviously. And this is just like Sidney Powell said on the Newsmax interview I played for you, when she says there are thousands of people involved in this conspiracy. Why not judges as well? So Jesse saying, in order to make people confident it wasn't crooked, we have to let this play its way through the courts. No, the courts have become part of the conspiracy. And Trump's defenders keep talking about, the existence of sworn affidavits. Simply having sworn affidavits doesn't prove anything. Affidavits are a type of evidence. Affidavits are a type of evidence much like witness testimony. Sometimes witness testimony and affidavits are admissible. Sometimes they are not. Sometimes they are credible. Sometimes they are not. The fact that there is an affidavit or 100 affidavits or 10,000 affidavits, it means nothing other than there is a witness willing to say something. That's all it means. It might or might not be credible. It might or may not be hearsay. It may or may not be admissible. Having affidavits doesn't mean more than that. And when you start looking into some of these affidavits that they have, some list, they've got lawsuits in Michigan listing towns from Minnesota. They have people signing affidavits who, when asked what happened, can't put together even one coherent sentence about what on earth is it you are even alleging took place here. And then you'll have, Rudy and others say they signed these affidavits under penalty of perjury. People testify in court under penalty of perjury as well. Testimony is often disregarded as either unreliable or biased or dishonest. You rarely see perjury charges. Perjury is very hard to prove. You very rarely see it. It goes to proving that someone knowingly lied versus just misspoke. It's easier to simply call into question the reliability of what they say and ignore it if you determine it's not trustworthy than to go charging people with perjury. And it's the same thing with these sworn affidavits. So listen, Geraldo is a total clown. He supported Trump. He is Trump's friend. He wanted Trump to win. So Geraldo is not now our go-to guy. He's just sort of like, imagine a group of drunk people at a party behaving insanely. Someone is bound to be the first to sober up. It doesn't mean that they exercise good judgment to begin with. They're just the first guy to sober up and say, what the hell happened here? And that's what is going on with Geraldo, but he was just as much a part of this as anybody else.
A lot of the shirts you see me wearing on YouTube are actually made by a company called Teddy Stratford. I love these shirts, and that's why I asked them to be a sponsor of the show. It really is the most innovative shirt you can buy because most slim fit button-up shirts give you this weird stretched out gap in the chest where the buttons are. You don't get that with the Teddy Stratford shirts because all of their shirts come with a patented zipper hidden beneath the buttons, which prevents the chest from stretching apart like that. But most importantly, just overall, it makes the shirt fit much better and look better. The carefully designed shirt is also cut in a way that improves the look of your upper body physique. It has a really nice, elegant, close fit that other shirts don't really give you. It also has a specially designed collar that won't fall down and lay flat, which I love. The difference all around with these shirts really is noticeable. Go check them out at davidpakman.com/Teddy. The link is down below and they'll give you 15% off your first order if you use the coupon code Pakman at checkout.